everyone, my name is Joanna and today I'd like to share with you some advice and techniques when it comes to learning new vocabulary. The first thing you should do, or rather not do, don't repeat. So very often when we have new vocabulary bits, we are going to write a list in a second language and then translation in your native language, and you're going to repeat it on loop several times until the moment you feel, okay, I remember it for 5 minutes, and then you forget it the next day. So of course it's fine using tool like flashcards. It's nice, it's good, I use it quite often. Sure, it's a nice complement to your core learning. However, to start using the word, especially in speaking, so spontaneously, you have to, surprise, surprise, you have to actually use it. So you need to produce this word, you need to speak with this word. So to do it, to convince your brain that, listen, this is the part of my vocabulary, I want to use it spontaneously, instinctively, try to have the list of words and make like a lot of phrases with this word, make it distinctive, make it vivid, put it in some distinguishable context, something relatable for you. Our brain loves colors, it loves context, it loves stories. You can also actually come up with a story. So you take, let's say, 10 words you want to learn and you come up with a story. If you take language classes, you can also have the list of words in front of you and try to force it while speaking in the conversation in relatively natural manner. One more thing I use and I recommend very often is just speaking out loud with the words you have. So once you have your list of words, just speak out loud, make sentences, talk about your day, talk about some subjects that interest you, and try to force those words in your speaking. Also, bonus points for this technique, it takes really little time. So do it every day for 5 minutes and you're gonna see the results. Second advice is be selective. Language learners very often fall into the trap of noting down every new word, every word that they don't know the meaning of, they encounter. Doing that, we end up having a long list of words that we are completely incapable of memorizing because, we have certain limits to how much we can learn. So we end up feeling overwhelmed, incapable of using those words, probably losing some motivation over that. So be very selective. When you read the text, when you watch the video, you see some new words in the sentence, really go with your guts. I think that even if you don't understand many words from the sentence, you can figure out which word seems crucial or might be useful for you. If you read a book and there is a long description of a landscape, well, probably like vocabulary related to patterns, colors, something very particular, something very descriptive, poetic, probably you might not need it for the moment. Just skip it. Think of the context in your life where you can use this word. Maybe it's work, maybe it's something related to your hobby, maybe it's something you talk about with friends and family. And then if it passes the test, if you imagine yourself using this word, write it down. For me, I always limited myself to writing down 6-7 words tops. Definitely quality over quantity. Yes, this will also apply in language learning. And this leads up to the next point, which is writing down only the new words. So incorporating the new vocabulary into the hard drive of your brain is a really long process, and I think we don't stress it enough. Just because you know the translation of a word doesn't mean you're gonna use it and it will come up in your head while speaking. So when you see the word that kind of rings a bell, you saw it somewhere, but you're like, oh yeah, I know it, like it's this and that, but you don't use this word, write it down again. And there is one major upside to it. If this word already came up several times, that means this word is probably important. This means that perhaps it's related to the subjects you surround yourself with. One more advice I've got for you today is repeat it. So it kind of cancels out the first one, right? But not really. Once again, I'd like to stress one fact. Incorporating a new word into your vocabulary while speaking, it's a long process. You can't expect yourself by only just looking at the word and maybe repeating it 2 or 3 times is going to come up in your head while speaking. That's why you have to really be consistent and use a technique like spaced repetition, which proves highly effective in your language learning. What I mean is, go back to your old vocabulary. Maybe instead of reading another article, watching a new video, noting down new words, come back to the old list of words that you've had and just go through it, choose the ones that you're like, oh, this is a cool word, I don't use it, I want to learn it again, make some phrases with it, speak with this word. So yeah, instead of adding up new words, perhaps just come back to the words you've already noted down and try to revise them one more time to really make sure that they are encoded in your brain. These are all the tips I'd like to share today, so thank you so much for watching and good luck in your language learning.